Johnny Dare, Miss Nycki Pace. It is September, 18th, 19th?
18th.
Huge amount of shows this week. Nickelback's this week, GNR's this week, Burt Kreischer's this week. Gas has got 2 shows at Knuckleheads Friday and Saturday. I think he's doing 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. We've got, what else is going on? I know I'm missing something else. Oh, Corey Feldman is on Sunday?
Last night.
Was it last night?
Yeah, because you had to flip the coin between that.
Boy, it was a hard decision. Although, I would have liked it. What I wanted was, and I tried to get Jake to let me get Jake in here for a minute. Hold on a second.
When there's something that we gotta know, who's on the phone or what's next on the show? Call a guy who spent 2 minutes in Anchorman. You call to talk to Dare, but you get this guy instead. He's gonna get an ulcer working here and no hair upon his head. It's Jake the Phone Stay.
So I'd asked Jake if Corey Feldman played Lemonade Park last night.
Right.
And it doubled up with Chappelle, so flip the coin.
So close.
But we said come in tomorrow morning.
Right. And it never worked out. Yeah.
That's too bad. I really would have liked to have met Corey Feldman and had him in studio because I think he'd be incredibly interesting. I want to talk about Corey Haim, about the Goonies, about Lost Boys, about everything, his music world, everything he's gone through in life.
And I even threw in that, because Gas has a relationship with the manager. I threw all that in, travel and whatever. They couldn't make it happen.
That's too bad. I'd like to find out how the show went, though.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
Chappelle show sold out to the rafters last night at T-Mobile.
Not even covered, not covered. I figured some of the upper deck would be covered.
That's normally when you have a comedian come in to play T-Mobile, that's what you'll get is the curtain on the top deck.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was sold to the nosebleed seats. It was an amazing show, and it was in the round. So not like a Metallica size stage, like a much smaller stage. And he had 4 warm-ups, and every one of them were great.
Yeah.
Every stand-up that was done last night was outstanding. And then Chappelle just came in and just showed you why I will tell you, there's an argument to be made that he's the greatest living comedian today.
Oh, yeah. Modern day Carlin Pryor.
Yes. I mean, but so much his own. Like he is truly an original.
I've loved his specials. Obviously, during our downtime of COVID and being stuck, catching up on a lot of them. Would you say 10 times better when you get to see it live?
It's always
just
10
completely
times.
different.
It is. It feels so different. I watch bands online. I'll watch a concert. I'll watch a concert DVD.
Sure.
But it's never the same, is it?
No.
It's never the same as the moment, the feeling, as being in the same room and feeling that energy. It was incredible.
Good.
And it was, again, there was so much stuff going on last night. People I hadn't seen in forever. People you didn't know were going to, like Travis Kelce was there with Patrick Mahomes and his wife. They walked right past us backstage. I was like, whoo, whoo. And then nobody could figure out what to say. Had I known it was his birthday, I'd have yelled happy birthday.
You'd have had something, yeah.
I'd have had one that in my pocket because you got to respond. It's a pleaser every time.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Patrick. Have to turn around. Hey, get over here. Let's take a picture. Except for my phone was still locked in the bag.
Oh.
So I just have to believe you then.
That's right.
You didn't document it. It didn't happen.
Right. And it was just an incredible show last night. And then I told you that he'll talk about it too. We were watching because we got there early. He had texted Chappelle, who hooked him up with incredible tickets. So there I am sitting in the 5th row. We ended up being in the 6th because somehow the people at T-Mobile, and this seems highly unlikely to me, you only have so many seating arrangements.
Right.
But they sold out these sections. There were supposed to be, let's say, I'm not getting the numbers exactly right, but this is what happened. So say you're going to have 28 seats in a row,
right?
5 rows. Suddenly you get there and only 23 or 24 fit. And so there's no 25, 26,
right.
27, 28. So people are walking up with front row 25,
and being cut out of the equation.
And they're putting them to the back rows.
Or
or
the waiting area.
We were supposed to, right. So when we're just sitting down, so we immediately went 5th to 6th. I don't care.
Right.
And then as people came in a little bit later, they started getting pushed. And these were people who had paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And they were dressed up. Some of the ladies were, full, nice dresses. Hair was done. looking great.
Right.
Some of the people, like some people you genuinely felt bad for. You're like, man, I know. And just look at me like, because they're being as cool as they could possibly be.
Yeah, but like you can't even wrap your head around,
then,
I don't have a seat.
Then the entitled people, and you're like, oh, this is going to be painful. And I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Shh, everybody, shh.
Oh, just the dude with the shirt open to the nipple with the affliction dress shirt. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know the one. The overly tan dude, the pissed off white guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the just... You know
I
the
know.
guy.
I already
you
have him
know
in my
the
head.
guy, right?
I have him. He's in
And
my
there
head.
you can hear her. Stay calm. It's a girl who looks like she may have been slapped a few times.
Stay calm, Jimmy. Don't get us kicked out again.
And he's over there. Yeah, he's over there. Do you know who I am? I'm the third best, most good used car dealer in all of Merriam. Just the finger pointing, dude. I don't know if you see this very nice watch. It was painful. Painful sometimes on that, sometimes painful for the people because you loved them and you wanted them to see the show. But then once the show started, everybody was happy.
When you told me everyone eventually got sorted out, but the waiting happened by them sitting on the floor to wait for a seat
Grown
to magically dressed up for their night out.
Yes, it was a thing because that, like I said, they could not fit any more people. He may have set the record last night because that had to be the smallest stage ever, unless a comedian did it on something smaller. You could not have put a band on that stage, and it was the most amount of tickets possibly ever offered at T-Mobile. So I will tell you, he had to have set a record last night.
I hope he did.
Matt Iseman on the hotline right now. They got the couple special tonight on NBC.
Oh, I love. Let's grab Matt before we run out of time. Hold on.
Born January 2nd in Denver, Colorado, a graduate of Princeton University and a Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons, he worked as a licensed MD before choosing a career in stand-up comedy, working with the famed Groundlings improv group and performing on numerous USO tours. You've seen him as host of such shows as Live Rescue and Rescue Camp, as well as hosting the wildly popular American Ninja Warrior. And tonight you can see him on the special American Ninja Warrior Couples Championship on NBC. Please welcome longtime friend of the show, Matt Iseman.
Mr. Matt Iseman, how are you, brother?
Buddy Johnny, I'm doing great, man. I'm just still recovering after our season finale last Monday where we gave away $1 million.
Crazy.
It's so fun giving away someone else's money, Johnny. It feels great.
Right? And you got to be the same way I am. Obviously, everything is fair and balanced, and you win. But you have to have personal feelings of who you want to win. And when somebody wins and you're giving something away, if we do motorcycle giveaway or cash giveaway, when you really in your heart, those two things connect, you have a certain internal celebration that happens as a host.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
for
right.
Sure.
Well, yeah, because we give away motorcycles, these Harleys, where and you have a working class guy, and he probably has wife and kids, and he can't quite afford it, but he wants one, and you want him to win. And then there's a guy who drove up in a Land Rover, and he's not wearing any socks, and you're like, oh, even though he can win just like everybody else. In my heart, I'm like, do not win. You've got too much.
It's and we had a situation that happened once before back in season 7 where somebody completed the climb and was going to walk away with $1 million, and then someone else completes it faster. And, at the time, everyone, both last week and 8 years ago, everyone said the same thing, like, why don't you both give them both $1 million? And, look, I love being generous with other people's money as well, but it just didn't work that way. And what's amazing is Daniel Gill this time, he handled it with such class, and to see Vance Walker do it, particularly given that he was born with cerebral palsy, it was just such an unbelievable story. And, one of those things that I think when people watch, whatever you're going through, you're like, wow, if a guy with cerebral palsy can win American Ninja Warriors, who knows what I can do?
That's right. No, that is right, man. And again, that takes me back to that personal thing inside me where I watch it and I go, I want that person to win so badly. Like, that is the thing that makes American Ninja Warrior different than just an obstacle course. It is, you really do, if you watch it, there's a background, there's a way somebody handles themselves, even if it's just as superficial as stereotyping somebody and going, oh, that guy looks like he's had too much in life. He's had it too easy, or this guy's had it too hard. But when the guy you picked wins, you're like, yes. And again, if you get a real backstory, like being born with cerebral palsy, if that's your challenge starting in this world, man, that's a serious challenge. And if you can overcome it to the point of wearing a winning American Ninja Warrior, you've done something in this life.
It's really fun seeing that. And what's cool is, as we look at so many of our competitors, and even the young ones, what they've gone through. We Noah Munier, who also made the climb. I think he's 18 years old. His dad, when he was 16, had an accident playing hockey and was nearly paralyzed, had to walk with a cane. And you saw his dad on the sideline of every run. And I lost my dad at the end of last year. And so that story really struck me, just seeing how the dad was there. And it just made me think of my dad. And it was just, for me, it was beautiful. When Noah hit that stage 3 buzzer, he knew he was going to the climb. And his dad, just gallops up those stairs as best he could and hugged. And I was like, what a beautiful moment. What a moment these two will never forget. And that's what makes me love Ninja Warriors. We get to watch people have moments they'll remember for the rest of their lives, things where they overcame or things where they felt the love. And it's really fun.
To that point,
I've been very emotional this year.
To that point, yes, there's going to be moments coming up that people will never forget. And that is the couples American Ninja Warrior. And I can tell you, that is the worst idea I've ever heard from a couple standpoint. It's just going to be entertaining as can be. But I won't build an IKEA table. I won't paint a wall. I won't mow a yard with my girl. I love her. She's great, but we are going to do things separately. Otherwise, I feel that my physical happiness is going to be impeded on.
Yeah, it's we always say the ninjas handle the ups and downs so well. You see someone fall on the first obstacle and they keep their chin up and say, I'll be back next year. But you're right. If someone who you have to sleep next to that night and maybe every night for the rest of your life, and you let that team down. And I will say, because there's some competitive athletes on here, and it's not always the guys.
Right.
So
my mother said you were a pussy. Yeah.
So you feel like, I gotta put this couple on my shoulders. Fine.
Oh, it just seems like such a bad idea from a couple standpoint. Not from an entertainment view. We love it because we all instantly know what it's like to compete with a loved one. Because when it counts on both you, it's 50-50. And you're right. It doesn't even matter if you see the face on one of them that even if at the moment the other teammate didn't notice, they're going to see it in reruns.
Oh yeah, in super slow motion. And it's crazy too, because just like in the main show where we're starting to see this big gap between ages, we have Sandy Zimmerman, who was the first mom ever to get up to Warp Wall, competing with her husband Charlie, who's been on Ninja before. They're competing against a couple like Avery Glantz and Luke Dillon, who are, I think they're 19 and 20. And the other couple is double their age. And so what I love is you're seeing it. It is the next generation of Ninja coming to say, we're ready. We're ready to play.
See, but that puts me right back in that same position of I always want to see the old bull win. Even when I was a kid, I wanted to see that. Even again, it goes back to the Roadhouse model with Patrick Swayze and Elliot. You just go, oh, you want to see the old mijo? Mijo. Sam Elliott's got to beat his ass. Like, you've got to have the older bull win.
Johnny, I'm gonna agree with you anytime you quote Roadhouse. So it's, and listen, right. I'll be honest, I'm an old dog too. So I'm vested because you kind of feel like, man, if these old people who are in really good shape can't do it, what chance do I have in life?
That does occur to me, but I push that right down inside. I compartmentalize it, never think about it again. And I can't wait, and I hope we get another one in Kansas City, Matt.
We're hoping. The pandemic changed everything in terms of travel. Where this season we used to travel to 7 cities, and then we started after the pandemic. We were like, all right, we did the season 14. We did the qualifying in San Antonio, Texas, and then we did the semifinals in LA. And this year we did it all in LA, and then the finals in Vegas. And it's part of it is cost cuts. Part of it is still travel's difficult. So I'm hoping I'm hoping things spread up, but I'm sure you're aware there's a strike going on in Hollywood right now, so nothing's happening. But I can confirm at this point we do have season 16 coming.
Excellent. Well, I hope everybody gets back to work. Everybody deserves to make the correct amount of money, and they deserve to get a good living wage. And Lord knows Hollywood's got enough money. So it's the same story everywhere, right? It doesn't matter if it's radio or athletes. It's just it's going to take a little bit of work to get the thing a little more equal.
Yeah, and I think the auto workers are on strike too right now.
That's
so it's we're seeing it. I mean, maybe the ninjas and the auto workers can combine forces and come up with some some Transformers Autobots or something, Ninja Autobots.
Well, listen, I can't wait to see it. Again, it's always good to hear your voice, man. I hope everything is beautiful in your world, and we'll catch up wherever we catch up.
Sounds, buddy. Sounds good, but I think I still owe you a big barbecue dinner.
Anytime, man. It's always here. All right, you hold on. Say bye, man. What a good dude.
I like him.
I just realized I was getting ready to run over with him. Sorry, Jake. Don't forget, American Ninja Warrior. It's happening. Couples, 7 o'clock, NBC. It's a special tonight. Matt Iseman hosts American Ninja Warrior, the couples edition. Or as I like to call it, the pre-divorce edition. Can you imagine you and Mike?
No, it won't happen. No, there have been times.
For real. It's just a terrible idea.
When you've done it a couple times in a couple different ways, hanging a television in the bedroom. Call your friend. Ask Curtis next door. I don't care. Ask the retired guy down the street who's 732 years old. I'm not helping you.
See, you're smart. Most ladies will go the opposite way, which is a foolish idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. Don't be in. Just saying. Don't be in.
I've seen this episode. I've been featured in this episode before. You're not going to win it.
Oh, and my mom was smart like that. She never did anything of my father like that. Never. Yeah. It was always terrible because if you knew it was a weekend and you saw Dad head to the garage, you tried to get out of the house as fast as you can because you were going to hold the drop line.
Yeah, because it's not that you don't want to help. It's just inevitably something blows up with the two of you trying to get something accomplished.
First of all, it was my father. You know what I realize now? I can't be hurt because I held the flashlight for Bill Caprofoli. You can't say anything to me that hasn't been said from the man who created me and raised me and nurtured and fed me. The most important man in my life, the one I wanted most of all to be proud of me. He has said things to me that you can't even imagine.
They're never going to go away.
And he said them with a cigarette stuck in his mouth and me holding the ashtray underneath with my right hand and my flashlight with the other. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he'd say that get me this in his socket with a cigarette in his mouth. You're like, I don't know what you said, Dad. That's not a goddamn Crescent Ranch, stupid.
Your dad loved telling you something more than one time, I'm sure.
Oh, my God. And then the world went metric.
Oh, yeah. The Johnny Dare Morning Show presents Sports in Your Shorts with Leif Lisec. Super honky. Getting funky now. Super honky. With the sports. Super honky. Getting funky now. Super honky. Ooh, Lord.
Brought to you by our good friends at Worth Harley Davidson. Bike night happens every Thursday night at the Twisted Rib Event Center at Worth. Join that party. Live music, ice cold beer, killer barbecue. Bike night kicks off at 6 o'clock every Thursday at Worth Harley Davidson, I-29, just south of the airport. Mr. Lisec.
I don't know if I ever told you the famous microwave story or not. The microwave that hung above the cooktop went out. So you figure, how hard can that be, right? There's a couple of screws and, you plug it in. And so we get the new microwave and we go in there. And, of course, what are the odds that the holes line up in the original holes? Of course, no. But there's a template, they give you a piece of paper. So I drew the holes in the template. And, of course, can't get that to fix. So my cabinet now looks like Swiss cheese because at some point, you just get mad and just start drilling. I'll get a hole in there and just, so I got holes everywhere in the bottom of my cabinet. No big deal. So Laura's helping me because I need help holding the microwave up there. And so it's above the cooktop. So my brilliant idea is, hey, hand me that pillow off the couch, and let me put that on the cooktop in case this thing should fall. Maybe that'll break the fall, and we won't have to replace the cooktop, right? It's like glass. She's like, okay. So she brings a pillow over, and it's like Laurel and Hardy. Like we're putting this thing up, and like, do you smell something burning? No. So somebody, I don't know who. somebody knocked the knob on the burner to on, and it set the pillow on fire. So the burning pillow. You know, I save the day. I pick up the burning pillow and I throw it outside. You know, and you know, as the pillow was burning outside, and Laura's looking at it, she goes, "Yeah, that was a custom pillow. That was I don't know how much it was. I didn't even ask." But the saddest part was the cat at the door looking at his pillow burning, because that was the pillow that he laid on the couch.
Oh.
Just kind of like looking through there, like, "You idiot! You burned my pillow, didn't you?" that was probably the last. I think that may have been the last go around for me. I just, you know, I try my best. Drew and I replaced the toilet in his bathroom, and it brought back so many great memories of my father yelling at me to go, you know.
Yeah.
Not that socket wrench, you know, because you were supposed to know what it was that he wanted, you know, before he sent
nothing
you. So,
struck fear into my heart like him saying, you know, you wanted a Phillips? Mm-hmm. What? Is that the plus or the minus? Nothing struck fear into my heart until the point. I feel like I had a learning disability, like till I was an adult.
Flatter star is all I think of my head. Flatter star.
Yes, plus or minus. That's exactly right. And again, because I screwed it up so many times, overthinking it, that it became like I had literally a learner's block about the whole thing.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Oh.
I had that in my mind for years.
Oh, dikes. What are dikes, Dad? I don't know what dikes. It was. And again, then we went from standard to metric, and it was just like, everything.
I still to this day don't think that I have
a socket.
I don't think.
He'd yell for a socket, and you'd bring him a socket, but then he wouldn't have told you that he also wanted the wrench.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me I was supposed to get a wrench, Dad. You're like, just sit down. You think you're going to use it, stupid dick. Yeah. Jesus Christ, go sit with your mother. Send your other brother, the one I love, out. You know.
I still to this day don't think that I've ever had the right socket on that actually really, like, it kind of fits, you know, it works, but I don't really ever feel like like the whole metric and, you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
like everybody else, you ever have the right ones? You try to figure out what metric will do for the standard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's the life I lead, Johnny.
That's right. Oh, well, all of us. Again, that's when I feel closest to my dad. If I go in the garage and I start screwing something up, that's when all the memories come back.
Yeah. Good times. I told Laura, you know, there ought to be a class. You know, high school is full of, you know, all kinds of, you know, you got all kinds of options. But there literally should be a life class. There should be a class in there where you learn to change a tire. You learn to tie a tie.
It's called vocational school, Leif.
Well,
I went there. I know.
They change it out. Try to change a tire and do your oil and like replace a battery. Like just stupid stuff, you know.
Leif, I don't know if you understand this because Drew was a good student, but there was an automotive class of Votech, and there was also a carpentry class in my Votech. So you could either learn to do rough and carpentry, or you could learn to work on cars, or you could learn to run a printing press, which is, I don't know why I got stuck in that.
Well, but should that not be available to the general population? In fact, it should be required that you go through there and you learn just every day there would be something basic. Like, here's how you write a check. Here's how you address an envelope. Kids don't know how to address an envelope now.
You're right.
No, all you got to do is fill out the form on your phone. That's right.
Right.
True
This is
story.
where the stamp goes. This is a return address. What does that mean? You know, I don't know. Maybe just to get off my lawn.
So I'm excited to tell you after we talk about the Chiefs, which, by the way, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs who won 17-9. Was that right?
That's it.
Yeah. It was. So tell me about this, because then I want to share with you what I saw last night.
Okay. I'm a little jealous about that, too, by the way. So Patrick Mahomes said it, playing bad and winning is better than playing bad and losing. Chiefs needed this one against the Jags, pulled it out with a 17-9 win down in Jacksonville. The return of Chris Jones made a big difference, 1.5 sacks, plenty of disruption on his part. Travis Kelce came back from his knee injury, caught a touchdown pass. Andy Reid gets his 270th win, tying him with Tom Landry for fourth most all-time. Lots of penalties, 3 turnovers, plenty to work on for next week's game against the Bears. So the fellows came back in time. It was an early start. There are only 2 noon games this year. So they make the trip back from Florida, and you see them in the evening? Is that
Yes.
Is that...
I couldn't believe it. And then at first I was just excited to see Kelsey, and then I saw Mahomes, and I saw his wife too, and I was like, whoa, because they were walking towards us backstage, and I'm like, that's Travis Kelsey, and then boom, there's Patrick Mahomes. So it's exciting, right? Mm-hmm. But then my second thought was, I thought you were in Jacksonville, Florida. I didn't even know who'd won the game yet. I was like, how in the hell does this work? And so there's like a nanosecond where you're like, I was at noon, 1 o'clock. I mean, it means the game had to go until at least 3 o'clock, and then you have to do stuff afterwards. How are you back here already? And sure enough,
that's a quick turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah. Something tells me the private jet flies wherever it's told.
Ooh.
It was. I mean, they were fresh, and they'd been at the Chappelle show, and they were having a good time.
It was a birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, and his birthday. That's right. It was his big birthday show. So, yeah, let it be known. It's a different world. It's a different world when you're those guys, for sure.
That is a different world. Well, the Chiefs, of course, fly charter. So, it is a quicker. You get a police escort to the airport. You get right on the plane. And, obviously fly direct. So, that's a good day. It's nice to be you. Go backstage at Chappelle. That's a nice little.
I was
That's
Craig
cool.
Gass's +1, so let's not be too fancy there. I was definitely there because my friend was Craig Gass, who was, texting Chappelle. He told me a great story about texting Chappelle, not answering, and then going to his security guy, Jake, and then getting the tickets. And then he'd see Chappelle, and Chappelle would be like, so just text me whenever you need it. And he's like, I have been. I don't know if I have the right number. And he's like, oh, you do. I was like, that's fantastic. That actually happened.
Well,
to
you
him.
do.
Yeah. But the Chappelle, there's the show last night. I wish you could have seen it, Lisec. It was really great. It was one of those shows that you do not have any doubt as to why he sells out 18,000 or whatever it is out there.
You know much more about this than I do, but how many comedians out there can sell out an arena like that size?
Well, like Bert Kreischer will play there this week, and he is incredible. But I don't know that it is sold out. This was a sellout, and there's very few that sell out like an arena every time. There's Maniscalco can do it. I think if Segura and Kreischer went out together, they could do it. There's definitely some comedians.
Guys like Larry and Jeff Dunham have done it.
But consistent all the way sellouts at these rock arenas, it does not happen very often.
Yeah. He's the best. Hey, Johnny, Bengals are 0-2. Same with the Chargers and Broncos after their poor weekends. College football this weekend, Missouri got a walk-off win with a 61-yard field goal against K-State that knocked the Cats out of the top 20 this week. KU got a road win at Nevada to improve to 3-0. As Drew asked me, the last time KU had a better record than Alabama, don't remember. Tied out of the top 10 for the first time in 8 years. Colorado at number 19 after their thrilling overtime win over Colorado State. Deion Sanders is bringing life into Colorado like you wouldn't believe. It's fun to watch. It really is. Royals lost to the Astros. They sit at 102 losses for the season. Sporting KC beat Minnesota, the Current, over San Diego 2-1. Monarchs even their playoff series to a game apiece. Game 3 Tuesday back in KCK. Somebody won Saturday night in Bristol, his third win of the year, 51st of his career. Claiming after the race, it's our year. That'll be one Denny Hamlin. Joey Logano, Kevin Harvick eliminated from the playoffs. Johnny Tyreek Hill says he's happy to say goodbye to the fans in New England after his Dolphins' 24-17 win. Tyreek said, quote, those fans are some of the worst in the NFL. They are real nasty. Some of the things they were saying I wouldn't say in church. So, yeah, it felt great to wave goodbye to the fans. I'll do it again.
That's maybe the
Bye.
worst observation I've ever heard.
I didn't know that you were supposed to say those words in church.
Yeah, I miss Tyreek, don't you?
I do too.
Yeah.
But not all of us can get to go backstage at Chappelle. So
The worst part is your phone is still locked in the bag.
Still locked in the bag. No pictures.
No pictures. It was absolutely. I really thought at first I went through what I think everybody goes through. They took your phone away and locked it in the bag, and you're like, and you reach for it a couple times. You're like, even just checking what time it is.
Yeah.
And then you have the realization. You look around, and you realize, That's nice. This is good. we should do this. There should be a lot more shows they don't allow cell phones. It is. You realize everybody's in the moment. Nobody's trying to take stupid selfies.
Yeah.
Nobody's overly concerned about getting their social media updated. People were actually talking to one another and watching the show.
That's something.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations. That sounds like a lot of fun. Johnny?
Yes?
I'll see you on Wednesday. With Sports in My Shorts, I'm Leif Lisec for the Johnny Dare Morning Show.